I almost lost a $1.2 million transaction and over $30,000 in commissions. Okay, so here's the story. I was getting hit up on Instagram in my DMs by this lender I had never worked with. As a matter of fact, this lender was in a different state, and this lender kept sending me DMs over and over, and I kept on ignoring his DMs because I figured it was just another lender trying to sell me their services. I was working with lenders already. I was also busy working with buyers, working with sellers, listing houses. I just didn't have time for another sales call. But the lender kept on DMing me saying things like, hey, I have a client that needs to be serviced. Can you help them out? They want to buy in the city where you do real estate. And I kept on wrestling with myself whether or not that was a sales pitch. What happened next was my phone began to ring and voicemails were left, and it was this lender, and he would leave me voicemails like, hey, I've been trying to reach you on Instagram. I've sent you a couple of DMs. So finally, I figured, well, if he's calling me, this is probably legit. So I call him back and I leave him a voicemail. So now we're playing phone tag here. Hello!
Hello.
Hello! So he finally calls me back, and the first question I asked him was, hey, how did you hear about me, especially being in another state?
Wait, who are you? How'd you get my number?
And so he had told me that 3 years prior, someone he follows had shared one of my Instagram posts, and after that time, he started to follow my content. And he had been following me for 3 solid years on Instagram until this moment came where he needed a real estate agent that could service a client he had pre-approved. And the only person he remembered was, in his words, the guy who kept showing up on Instagram with real estate content. And that absolutely blew my mind, that he had been following me for 3 solid years. In that moment, I was just so thankful, thinking, man, I am so happy that I never stopped posting content. So he gives me the client's information. I reach out to the client. The lender never told me how much this client was pre-qualified for or pre-approved for. I was just excited that, hey, this was a legit lender that was passing me a client that needed to be serviced. Well, I end up contacting the client, and the client ends up purchasing a $1.2 million house. And the commissions, as you can imagine, were amazing. I ended up making over $30,000. Now, this is where I want to get to with this story here. Number 1, answer your DMs. You never know what's on the other side of a lender or someone in escrow or another real estate agent in another city that wants to pass over a client to you. But secondly is this, instant gratification versus long-term results. Now, as real estate agents, as we're posting content, sometimes you don't hear from the audience and or sphere that is following you. And you're posting and you're posting and you're posting, and so many times you want to give up simply because no one's sending you a DM like the one I got. I always say this, someone's always watching. It's very easy just to neglect when your reel gets 100 views or when it gets 60 views. But when you think about it, it's 60 people watching your reel or 30 people liking your post. Like, it's human beings that have the potential of one day either using you for your services and or referring someone they know to you simply because you kept showing up. Don't ever minimize the 1 like and 1 view you get because it's a human being on the other side of that. Human nature, we want results and we want them right now. We have this microwave syndrome, this McDonald's drive-through syndrome where we order a hamburger and we want it 30 seconds later.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today?
We want that microwave instant gratification. And so many times that ends up leading real estate agents to quit social media. They do a couple videos and no one reaches out to them and they think, oh, you know what? social media and video doesn't work. It's not for me. No, can you imagine? It took this lender 3 years to pass me a client. Now in 3 years, I had done hundreds of videos on social media. I kept showing up, and that hard work playing the long game resulted in over $30,000 in commissions. So all that to say is when you are creating your strategy for social media in your real estate business, you have to play the long game. This isn't one video, one client. This isn't one view, a new client. This is you keep posting and posting, and you keep building your social media platform out. You keep building your brand out. You keep building that influence, building that impact. And sooner or later, just like it happened to me, the income will come. Don't give up in your small beginnings. Play the long game, and I promise you, the results you're looking for are on the other side of the 100, 200, 300 videos you might have to do. Do not get discouraged. Keep posting on social media. Keep getting more comfortable using video on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Play the long game to see the results you want. Well, I hope you found some value in this video. Check out the links down below. I actually have a free download for you. It's the 6-step video strategy that I personally use to create videos that generate leads. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button. We're posting real estate agent coaching content every single week. Check out my most recent videos right here. We'll see you guys next time.